Thank you. These are the candidates that are here this evening that are running for the county council. We're going to do this by district, so we're going to start with District 1, which is Cary, Garner, and Mike Molinaro. Terry, if you would start with your 2-minute file.
Okay. I'm not sure if I have to stand up, but this picks it up.
I think if you sit, there's the feedback doesn't happen. If you stand, then it's going to give the feedback.
All right. Well, basically, I started out probably about 32 years ago. I had a father who was very active and giving of his time, and he instilled that in me and also my 4 sisters. I became a volunteer firefighter for Hannah for over 30 years. My father was trustee for numerous years on the school board, and I was elected to the Hannah Township trustee for 20 years. And then I ran for county council and have been the current councilman for the last 12 years. I've been involved with the Farm Bureau in Noble Township for the last probably 8 years. I'm a member and also a board director of Glinger Life Insurance Society, which is a $1.2 billion company in Adrian, Michigan, which is also an elected position over. There are 5 states that I represent, and I'm voted on by all 5 of those states. So it's another one of those things that you have to be known, and the people put the trust in you. I'm married. I've been, this will be a tough one. I think it's going on 42 years. Have 3 children, 3 boys. 2 of them are paid firemen. So one is in Portage and one is in LaPorte. So my concerns, the one in Portage also started in LaPorte. So my concerns are also for the city of LaPorte, which I represent. And I've just been, over the years, involved with a lot of volunteering. I'm also current Fair Board president and have been for the last 7 years, I believe. So I've been active in the community, and I try to give back to the community, which my father has instilled to me. The trust that you put in me is more important than this job. When your trust is not there, it's time for me to move on. So I ask that you consider me again, and thank you.
Thank you. Michael Beebe is no. Randy, would you go next on your 2-minute file?
Good evening, everybody, and thank you to the Farm Bureau and the LaPorte County Chamber for having us here tonight. My name is Randy Novak. I'm the candidate for LaPorte County Council District 2. I've been a resident of LaPorte County since 1969, married to my wife, Debbie, she's right out there. For 35 plus years, we have 2 sons and 2 granddaughters. I have over 30 years in the fire service. Serving the public is my passion. Currently serve as captain of the Michigan City Fire Department, captain at the Michigan City Fire Department. During my tenure as deputy fire chief, I was in charge of capital expenditures and overseeing a multi-million-dollar budget. I have over 16 years experience in real estate. Currently, I'm a managing broker of RE/MAX in Michigan City. I've been volunteering in our community for over 35 years, from delivering Meals on Wheels to vice president of the Samaritan Counseling Center. In 2012, I completed the program Leadership LaPorte County. I've served in many leadership positions, from union president of Michigan City Firefighters Local 475, served on the Michiana Shores Town Board from 91 to 96, served 4 years on the Permanent Pension Management Oversight Commission in Indianapolis for 4 years, and past president of the LaPorte County Association of Realtors. Currently, I'm the chairman of the LaPorte County Fire Chiefs Association, co-chair of the Michigan City Economic Development Community Development Task Force, and I'm vice president of the LaPorte County 911 Advisory Board. I am the candidate with proven experience, leadership, public service, contract negotiations, and mediation experience. I lead by example. On November 4th, I'd appreciate your vote.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Randy. If you would pass it to Jamey for your 2-minute file.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming out today. It's good to see everybody out. My name is Jamey Barnett. I'm the Libertarian candidate for LaPorte County Council, District 2. I grew up in LaPorte County, attended Michigan City area schools. I grew up poor. I started working early. I worked my way up at every job I've had. I've worked up to supervisor positions everywhere. I've been employed. I've set production records at some places I've worked that still stand today. I started as an iron worker in 2001. I was general foreman and foreman on a lot of multi-million-dollar jobs. I've had about 5-6 crews underneath me on certain jobs. I've worked in conjunction with five or six other building trades, so I know about leadership and I know about teamwork and I know how to get a job done. With my experience in the construction trades, you know, a lot of economic development and, you know, annexing parts of LaPorte or whatever, I know quite a bit about it. What I bring to LaPorte County is a different perspective on how to do things, you know. I'm always looking to increase efficiency, and I work very well with other people, so I appreciate your vote November 4th. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jamey. We'll move on to County Council District 3 is Mark and Patrick, and I don't think either of them are here, so we'll move right on to District 4. Cary, if you would, give your 2-minute bio.
I'm Cary Kirkham. I'm the Republican candidate for District 4 for County Council. District 4 is the eastern part of LaPorte County. It goes from Hudson Lake to Saugeen Lake, Rolling Prairie, Mill Creek, Fish Lake, down through Stillwell, Kingsbury, and on down to Kingsford Heights, and the eastern part of the city of LaPorte. My wife of 37 years, Sharon, and I are lifelong LaPorte County residents. We've been homeowners for 35 of those years. As newlyweds, we did rent someplace. I attended Stillwell High School until the consolidation, and I graduated from LaPorte High School. I attended Purdue University, and then I served in the Marine Corps in Vietnam, where I was wounded, decorated with Purple Heart, and then I was also decorated with the Navy Commendation for heroism in the face of the enemy. When I returned to LaPorte, which at that time, it was someplace you wanted to come back to. It was home. I got a job at NIPSCO. I served 33 years with them and retired 12 years ago. When I left, I was a control room operator. In other words, I ran the power plant in Michigan City for 12 hours a day, and I had 6 or 7 other employees under my directions to keep your lights on. I volunteered at the local high school, LaPorte High School, for 14 years as a volunteer basketball coach, and I'm presently a LaPorte City Councilman. I'm in an entity of government that does work. We may not agree all the time, but through the mayor, the economic development, Bert Cook, and the council people, we've been able to move the city of LaPorte forward. And I would bring that experience and I would bring maturity to the council seat. I would thank you for your vote.
Thank you, Cary. If you would, pass it to Ross beside you.
Hello, my name is Ross Ratliff, and I'm also running for County Council District 4. I'm a lifelong resident of LaPorte County, and I live in Rolling Prairie. First, would like to thank the LaPorte Political Action Committee and the Farm Bureau for tonight's event, allowing me the opportunity to speak tonight. I'm currently employed with Four Winds Casino, being promoted 3 times there. I'm currently the Promotions and Events Coordinator. I have strong leadership and managerial skills, and I'm well versed when dealing with the public. Outside of my career, I'm involved with the LaPorte Democratic Civic Club and the LaPorte JCs, most recently elected as the Community Vice President. This strong dedication to service creates an ambition to stay in the LaPorte County area for years to come. When elected, I plan to bring a positive voice to the council. It is important to maintain civility and approachability for the good of the residents of LaPorte County and our county workforce. With these efforts, county officials, elected officials, and taxpayers will be able to easily communicate with the council as we continue to move our county forward. As the county council deals with the budget of LaPorte County, it is important to keep in mind with our current property tax situation, we have been in a tough spot in regards to funding. As we continue to generate revenue from the past year's property tax bills, it is important to maintain a fiscally balanced budget to not only retain the businesses and citizens of our county, but also to aid in bringing more businesses and people to the county. As the county continues to bring tax bills up to date, it will be imperative to maintain the budget so that we can continue to move forward as a county for years to come. My name is Ross Ratliff, and I would appreciate your support on November 4th. Thank you.
Thank you, Ross. If you would pass it down the table to Ray. If you would give your 2-minute bio.
Hi, I'm Ray Wolff, and I'm seeking the honor of being your next county council member for District 4, and have already been working hard on making county government more open and transparent. And I'm here in front of you because I want to serve and better represent the best interest of LaPorte County. If you are a person who seeks and votes for the most qualified candidate, then I know you will find me to be the most qualified, experienced, and most passionate of my fellow candidates seeking the position of County Council District 4 this year. Our county is facing a tough financial future, and our current politics, as usual, is not answering the call to steer LaPorte County in the right direction. If being led around by a bulldog is not the right approach, then please allow me to be your independent voice on County Council. If you are like me and you imagine a LaPorte County that finally reaches its full potential, that spends its money wisely and more efficiently, that is more open, honest, and transparent, then I'm your candidate. As an independent voice, I will be the people's representative, not beholden to politics as usual. I hope you'll learn more about me at Ray Wolff, and it's Wolff with 2Fs.com, and my 25 years of experience and knowledge as a business leader, business owner, entrepreneur, and engineer. Again, I am Ray Wolff, and I'm looking forward to working hard for you on County Council. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. We'll start with the first question, and I'll change this, you can leave it with Ray. I'm going to change this up a little bit, so we just go down and back. Ray, if you would start the first question. What is your plan to improve local efficiency and reduce waste?
Well, I think one of the real problems is, I sat through several days of the budget hearings, and I think there's really some really good opportunities. What we're not doing well as a county is we're not measuring where we are today. A lot of these department heads come in, and they're actually just Xerox copying their budget numbers from the previous year. There's very little discussion of what department heads are doing to improve the efficiency and the services they're providing the county. Most people are mistaken to believe that county council's responsibility. It's also the commissioners as well as the department heads that they appoint to improve the services and their efficiency and their cost for all of us here in LaPorte County.
Thank you. If you would, Randy, the same question.
I too sat through the 2 days of budget hearings that Ray was at for the county council this year. And one of the things that I would like to do and pledge to do, and I've already talked to several elected officials, and I've been talking to them, and I plan to go in and meet with them even more, but there needs to be more than the 15 minutes, 30 minutes that's allotted during the budget hearings to talk and to dig into the issues that are in with the different departments and what their needs are. We need to know what all the needs are. We need to have better communications throughout the county with all the departments and the council so that we know exactly what their needs are, what the waste are, and that way we can compare the different departments. If there's things over in this department that are being duplicated, we need to share that and work a lot better on that. And that's one of the ways I think we can do some work. Thank you.
Jamie, if you would, the same question.
Yes.
Well, the population hasn't increased that much over the last 10 years. I think we gained about 2,000 people in LaPorte County, 2,000 or 3,000. But the government spending has increased a lot, and that doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to make it my job to investigate every department and find out exactly what they're doing. Some of the people, appointed to jobs, we're not handing out paychecks here either. Make sure everybody's doing their job. Things will move a lot better if everybody works together and elected officials aren't fighting in between each other, set that aside. Economic development, people that want to come in here and start businesses, they want a government that works together, and they're not going to have any problems with it. So, thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Cary, same question.
Well, that's a difficult one to answer because we have elected officials and we have department heads. And you can never guess which ones are the most difficult ones to take money away. You can't touch elected officials. If they want to spend it, they spend it. Department heads, we can take it away. We have a finance committee, which I basically sat on. Earl Cunningham, Rich Mrzinski, and I sat down with the auditor and her deputy, and we reviewed these offices, and we had basically an agenda of certain things that we wanted to go after. And we pretty much did. So it wasn't really the 15 minutes. We did our homework before, and we pretty much had let most of the council, if they wanted to be, involved in that. So it's like, we do things ahead of time, but when you're electing certain people, they do what they want to too, so it's hard for another elected official to say no, because they'll go around him.
Thank you, Terry. Ross?
Unification of our county government is the most important thing that we need to look at in regards to efficiency. Once our department heads and our elected officials start working together, it's going to be easier to find the areas of efficiency within the county. The county council serves as liaisons to the department heads within the county, and it should open the lines of communication so that the county council is kept in the loop, and then the department heads, if they have any requests, they would be able to come to that person prior to the meeting, which obviously would create a more open budget, and we would know kind of where everybody's coming from. So the most important thing for efficiency is working together.
Thank you, Ross. And finally, Cary, if you would, the same question.
I also sat through a couple of days or a couple of sessions of the budget hearings with in front of the county council. The council presently did ask, I believe, some tough questions. They really hammered on some of the department heads and some of the offices. I would help and continue in that. Excuse me. There is places that probably could be cut, but I do think that they were on a start, and I know it's hard cutting budgets. People can't give up. You may lose jobs, but I would continue working with that. And once I see budgets in front of me and seeing where possibly they could be cut, then I'd make a decision.
Thank you. And we'll just go right back down the table. I do have different second questions for the different districts. So the second question for County Council District 4 is, what one thing would you like to accomplish as an elected official of LaPorte County?
Well, I think with my experience on the city council that I would be able to take some stabilizing influence in the county council, within the county government. I would like to see some constructive communication between the commissioners and the council, and not just be a war every time they come in the same room together. I think I'm not disillusioned that I would make a big difference immediately, but I think I would be able to make an influence that would help make the atmosphere of the county courthouse more acceptable to the county taxpayers.
Thank you, Cary. If you would, Ross, that same question, what one thing would you like to accomplish as an elected official of LaPorte County?
Sure. I want the county council to be more approachable, not only for the department heads and the elected officials, but I want the county taxpayers to be able to come to meetings and communicate with the council. When working together, I feel that I have the leadership skills to openly communicate and be able to answer questions, not only just at the meeting, but outside of the meeting as well. So I think unification of the county government and working together with the taxpayers is extremely important.
Thank you, Ross. Terry, the second question for County Council District 1 was, would you support the Ileana Expressway through the southern part of the county?
No, you can't replace valuable farm ground, and basically, I live in that southern part, Hannah, and we seem to forget that farmers are a business. They're probably one of our largest businesses in this county, but they're individuals. And you can't reproduce farm ground, so once it's gone, it's gone. Now, I believe that it needs to go somewhere, but just like the KIP, which I was against for Noble Township, Union Mills, we started and we got it put over in the Kingsbury, they call it KIP, not, so it's like, that's the proper place for it. There are proper places, so I support it, but not when it takes valuable farm ground.
Okay, thank you, Terry. Second question for County Council District 2. And Jamey, we'll start with you. Do you support the extension of infrastructure, water and sewer from the city of LaPorte and Michigan City into the county for economic development? How will it be funded?
For economic development, you know, we got the Thomas Rose Industrial Park, we got the Kingsbury Industrial Park. Economic development, we bring in manufacturing jobs, you know, commercial. I can't see extending out that way. I don't see the benefit when we haven't utilized the, you know, the industrial properties that we have now. You can extend sewer, city sewer out there and water. I've seen that done before, and I've been at the meetings before when you're forcing people to hook into the city and sewer. And there was one person that I remember, it was a widow. She lived 1,500 feet off the road. She had 2 houses. She lived in one and rented the other one out. They wanted her to pay $15,000 to hook into that. There was no way for her to pay it, you know, whether it's 2 or 3 years, you know, later. If everybody's in agreement with it and everybody wants city and water, I'll support that. But for economic development, I don't agree with that.
Okay. And Randy, do you support the extension of infrastructure, water and sewer from the city of LaPorte, Michigan City into the county for economic development, and how will it be funded?
For the purposes of economic development, I am in favor of it. If it's for a business, if it's to improve businesses, take, for example, whether it's out on 39 or it's out on 400 north of Michigan City, just across the road, the city is already providing sewers and infrastructure to a lot of those places, and the city needs to force these businesses that come along there that are building in the county but receiving county services to sign a voluntary annexation agreement so that those people voluntarily, the gas station at the corner of 421-20, they voluntarily came in the county because they wanted to. Doesn't affect the citizens, doesn't affect the homeowners. If, you know, if the city wants to pursue annexation, that's a separate thing. We're talking about economic development. So, and it can be funded through TIFs or different types of conservative programs. But as far as economic development, I'm in favor of it as long as they sign a voluntary annexation for economic development, which would mean businesses.
Thank you, Randy. And then Ray, we'll go back to the second question for County Council District 4. What one thing would you like to accomplish as an elected official of LaPorte County?
Well, the one thing I have to recognize is, you know, on county council, I'm a member, just one member. So there's some limitations of what I can do personally myself. So yeah, and we're also restricted to financial issues for the county. That being said, there is one thing that I can do, and it's really one of the main reasons why I'm running, and I'm firmly convinced that it would benefit all of us here in the county, and that's to bring more openness and transparency to all the financial information. Every detail, every transaction should be brought up to the 21st century and made available online easily for all of us to see, so everyone can understand where every dollar is going, not have to go through loops to make public information requests. This kind of stuff should be done automatically. It would foster an environment when businesses come to LaPorte County, they would say, hey, listen, everything's above board in this county, and this is a place I want to do business. So that is one of the things, even if I have to do this personally myself, my experience, business is involved with the internet and have been doing so for 11 years. So I can easily make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you. And then on the 2-minute close, we'll again go back to by district. So if we would start with Terry and you do your 2-minute close.
Well, basically, the first thing I didn't touch on, I'm also a business owner. I've been a business owner for 18 years. I own a construction firm and also own a cleaning and water restoration company. You have to earn people's trust. And if you're going to stay in business, that's what it's all about. They have to take and trust you. That's been the same thing for me as I was elected to township trustee for 20 years, the trust of the people, and also the last 12 years on the council. And once you, as I said, once you can't place that trust in me, or you don't feel you have the confidence in me, then it is time for me to get out. And it's like, I want to represent you because I believe that more business owners need to take an interest and represent this county. Give a little bit back, because it takes you to have a good county government. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. And now we'll move to District 2, which is Jamey. So pass it the other way, if you would.
Thank you. I also forgot to mention that I am a business owner also for 7 years. I've served, I worked with the United Way, I served on the allocations committee for that, so I do community work. I'm not taking this job for money, you know, I make more money doing what I do now is recycling business. I'm doing it to help my community. I want to help my community. And when I see an injustice to one, to me that's an injustice to all. I don't want to see anybody left out. I don't want to see a small group of people, their lives improved while the others suffer. You know, my goal is to improve everyone's life, and that is possible. Thank you very much.
And Randy?
Thank you. I lead by example. By voting for me, you'll have a fair, hardworking council person that will listen to all and respect all citizens of LaPorte County. I will work together with all levels of county government and not raise your taxes. And I just want to say another thing. The difference between me and my opponents is they're getting involved in county politics. They're getting involved in their community. I've been involved in our community for 35 years now. So that's the difference. I've been doing this. They're just getting started. I applaud anybody that wants to get involved, but this is something that I'm passionate about and something I've been doing. So I appreciate your support.
Thank you, Randy. And then on the, Ray, if you would start on District 4.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think the LPAC and the Farm Bureau and all of you who came out tonight and those listening on WCOE as well. I've had the fortunate opportunity that my business has taken me around the world. And regardless of our opinions and differences here tonight, there's one thing we can all celebrate, and that's that we're able to freely meet and to agree or disagree with each other. Many around the world don't have this luxury or freedom. So that being said, I'm here seeking those of you who vote for the most qualified candidate. If you say current county politics is working great for us and we need more of it, then I'm not your candidate. However, if you feel that it's time for LaPorte County to take a new and better direction, then I need your vote. The county is at a financial crossroads, and I truly want to improve the way county government operates and conducts its business. By making our county a more safe, secure, and efficient and trustworthy place of doing business, it will create an environment that works to attract new business and jobs. If you have also grown tired of the current political cronyism that occurs in our local government, please allow me to be your independent voice and allow me to use my 25+ years of experience and knowledge to whip our county into better shape. Learn more about me on Facebook and again at raywolff.com, or feel free to email me at raywolff, again that's raywolff with 2 F's, so it's WOLFF @msn.com with any questions you have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. If you would pass that down to Ross for his 2-minute close.
I'm 26 years old and I'm completely invested in LaPorte County, and I want to see LaPorte County as a viable area for economic development and residents to come and to stay here. I feel that my leadership experience at Four Winds Casino, I've been there for 5 years and I've been promoted 3 times. I think that's proven leadership, and I communicate well with others, and I feel that that makes me the person for the job. Outside of Four Winds Casino, I am completely dedicated to the community, being involved in the JCs. I oversee projects such as the Backpack Drive, which promotes school supplies for children in need, and it just being able to work with your community like that, it's something that just you can't describe it. So I want to stay in the area. I want to keep seeing things grow in LaPorte County, and I hope to be your next councilman, and I'd appreciate your support on November 4th. Thank you.
Thank you, Ross. And then Cary, if you leave your 2 minute close.
Yeah, my position as a councilman on the city of LaPorte, I've had opportunity to go to Indianapolis to seminars and meetings about government, different entities of government and how things work. Sometimes when I raise a question about, well, I'm from LaPorte County, there's snickers and laughs in there. I want to be able to go back in 2 years and have them say, well, what'd you guys do to LaPorte County that you changed it, that it's a light now for the rest of the state? As I hope to be a stabilizing and influence, and with my age and maturity, I would bring my experience to the council seat, and I appreciate your vote November 4th.
Thank you. That brings a close to our portion of it. Do we have any questions from the audience that you've gathered for the candidate council? Okay, I'll throw one out, one that we were going to ask the County Council District 3 candidates, if you would all answer this in turn, and Cary, we'll start with you and work down. No, that I was going to ask. So this will be a question I'm throwing out. Please state your thoughts on whether a bypass truck route should be constructed around the city of LaPorte. And if you would, all answer that question.
I'm for a bypass, but truly, if we leave it as a truck bypass, not ask the state to reroute the highway, we need the travelers and the visitors still to go through downtown LaPorte to see our shops and our restaurants. For 4.5 years after I retired, I delivered luxury motorhomes nationwide. And I saw a lot of communities where they did put in truck bypasses, so it took all that traffic out of the city streets, but still the highways went through the city, and it didn't kill the city itself downtown. I've seen a couple incidences where they did reroute the traffic completely around the city, and the downtown city died, and I hope that wouldn't happen in LaPorte.
Okay, thank you.
Currently, I don't see a need for a bypass in LaPorte County. As we continue to grow economically with the Kingsbury Industrial Park and the Thomas Rose Industrial Park, and we see more industry coming in there, I think it would probably be something that we would need to look at. But currently at this time, I don't see a need for a bypass, and to Cary's point, it would deter from bringing people into our community.
I do believe that there is going to come a time that a bypass is going to be needed for LaPorte. If our intermodal project plays out the way that it should for this county, then our highways are going to be busy. And once those become busy, you're going to want them going around your city. There has to be some planning done ahead of time. It's kind of like this Ileana Expressway. They have to plan many years into the future, so that's one thing that needs to be started, is it needs to be looked at in the planning taking place.
Go ahead, Jamey, the same
Okay.
question.
Right now, at this point, I don't think, no, it doesn't need to be done right now. We need to straighten out everything that's going on at the industrial park in Kingsbury. That's top priority right there. With the Thomas Roads, we got a lot going on over there. The old Alice Chalmers is a nice development plan for that coming up. So at this point, no. Over there on Severs Road, that development, that needs to be done first. The expressway, I agree, it can be started now, the plans, but no money going toward it right now.
You know, being a candidate, not seeing any plans and not seeing where it's gonna go and how it's gonna be funded, it's very hard to sit up here and tell you that I'm gonna support it or I'm not gonna support it. I mean, I would actually have to see the plans, look at it, see what the economic development benefits are to the community, and then make a decision at that time. So at this time, I guess I'm not one way or the other until I see plan and see what exactly the benefits are.
I would echo a lot of what Randy just said, but I would also add that I really haven't seen anything that would justify it. I also grew up in a smaller town in Ohio called Upper Sandusky, Ohio, that was located smack dab on Route 30. And they built a bypass, and I would also echo what Cary had also mentioned, that there are some pros and cons to a bypass if it's ever needed. Of course, what it does is it makes your town a lot quieter, but it does push a lot of the development and traffic outside your city limits or wherever it's located. And that pushes where that development goes, and also that then increases requirements and demands on your law enforcement, fire coverage, and all those kind of things as well, which increase costs. So at this point, I would say there's not. Someday there might be, but another caveat I would have on that I do have some issues with would be, again, with how the plans would lay out and the effects that might have on families that are affected by current eminent domain action that would be required to take such property for such development. I think that would have to be changed.
Thank you. Thank all the candidates for county council this evening. That concludes this portion of it.